Hey everybody, it's Coach Allie again. Today I am recording a little video for us to do some mobility on our shoulders. So last time we did hips, now we want to work on our shoulders just because a lot of the things we do in CrossFit are really hard on our shoulders. So we need to make sure we put in the time to make everything feel how it's supposed to feel and feel good when we're doing those movements. So the first part, I am going to talk about some mashing things. If you have a lacrosse ball, that's great. You can also use like a tennis ball, a golf ball, potentially if you have that, softball, baseball, that kind of thing. If you don't have any of those things, that's okay too. You can skip to the stretching and that'll be really good for you on its own. But, so if you have a lacrosse ball, I want us to start with mashing out our pecs. So lying on the ground, you'll want to mash out kind of right underneath your collarbone. You can go all the way from your armpit kind of to that middle, like sternum kind of area. You don't want to be right on your sternum, just in this area. So you'll want to mash that out. You can put your hand behind your back, move it around a little bit, different spots. You can even just press and hold. You can also do this against the wall if you're more comfortable doing that. And make sure you do both sides. So I would spend about 2 minutes kind of on each side. Then I want us to target our delt. So there's kind of three main areas of our delt: anterior or front, lateral or side, and posterior or the back of our delt. So 2 minutes kind of on each area is plenty of time, and you can use the floor. I mean, maybe it isn't ideal to go on the side on the floor, but you can do it. You can also do it on just a wall. And again, so both sides. Then, lastly, I want us to try to get into our erector. So that's the large muscles that go up and down each side of our spine. So you want to start up high and work your way down. If you have two lacrosse balls, you can tape them together, just like we have at the gym, and do them both sides of the spine at the same time. But if you just have one, you can do one side at a time. That's no problem. Last thing I want us to mash today would be the traps. Okay, so that's just the top here, right here. The easiest way to do this, and I won't really be able to show it, I guess, right now, but the easiest way to do it is to go up against like the corner of a wall, place it right there, and lean over and press it kind of in there. And you can move your arm up and down and behind your back and things like that to try to mash that out. Then we can go on to our stretches. So the first one I want us to do is internal rotation. So lying on our side, I'm going to have my arm straight out in front. And I'm going to bend my elbow, and then I'm going to press my wrist down to the floor. I don't want to push hard. This hand is just kind of, I guess, there as like weight. So I'm not really pressing. I'm just letting that hand give a little extra weight there. You can like set up a pillow and get comfy in this position. Like I said in my last video, I would recommend about 2 minutes per stretch or so. And so you'll want to do that on the other side as well. Same thing on the other side. Then I want us to do a little bit of external rotation. So here you'll need a little something just to prop yourself up. So I have a roller. It could be a roller. It could be a stack of books or towels or blankets, or a yoga block would be something that would be good. So whatever you have. But same thing, my arm's going to go straight up to the side. I'm going to bend my elbow, and I'm just going to rest my wrist here in that external rotation. So you'll have to play around with the angle there for you. Some people also like to put something under their actual elbow and then go extend the wrist a little bit higher after that, just so that your elbow is straight out from your shoulder, if that makes sense. So you're going to be about 2 minutes here, and then switch to the other side. Then we'll move on to just arm across our body. So in this position here, I'm gonna sneak this underneath my other arm, and I'm gonna even just relax all the way down, head on the ground, like that. Hold that for 2 minutes. Switch. And do the other side. Then while we're down here, I wanna go to a pec stretch next. So one arm's gonna be out to the side. My other arm I'm gonna use to kind of help me get up and try to face my chest to the ceiling. So a lot of people who are quite flexible will be able to get both feet up. In this position, you can rest your head however is comfortable for you. Get a pillow if you need. Some people like to bring this hand behind. We're gonna stretch like that on either side. Again, about 2 minutes per side. Then I'm gonna bring out my stack of books or my roller or whatever I had before again. But this time, I'm going to get my elbow up there to stretch out my triceps. So lying down, I'm gonna put my elbow on here, and I'm gonna rest my head and stretch like that. You'll wanna do both sides. You can do both sides at the same time if you have things that you can use to do both at the same time. That would be great. Then, okay, this next one, it can be a little intense, so judge it accordingly for yourself. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna sit like this, and we're gonna put our fingers facing back, and I'm gonna slowly walk them out until I feel a good stretch, okay? So this one can be quite intense, like I said. Never go to pain. You should never be at more than like a 7 out of 10. Something that you can just hold for 2 minutes. The other thing is you could build up some support, like maybe a pillow or some blankets or something behind your back here, because you don't have to be using your core the whole time to keep you up or like pressing hard against your hands. You should be able to kind of relax here just so you can feel that stretch. So give that one a try and let me know what you think. Next we'll go into the old faithful child's pose. So straight out like that, bringing our chest towards the ground, reaching our hands forward but sitting our butt back. And you can do whatever you want with your legs. You can keep the knees together or apart, it's up to you. But when you're doing this one too, I want us to spend some time walking our hands over till like that 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock, if we're a clock face here, just to stretch out our sides and our lats. So here, maybe hold that for 2 minutes, walk to the other side, there, hold that for 2 minutes. Then let's finish up just being nice to some other things, so like our wrists. I know they're not technically like part of our shoulders, but this can be considered upper body, so I think that's fine. We're gonna walk our fingers so that they're facing our knees. Lean back slightly. In this position, you can do some side to side or small circles. I want us to try to keep our fingers spread out here and contact your palm on the ground as much as possible. And then after a couple minutes of that, I like to do a little rebound for even just 1 minute with the back of my hand, on the ground. And you can kind of feel it in here a little bit more. You don't need to press hard. Just use your own weight to kind of find what feels good for you. And then finally, I want to just finish stretching out our neck and our traps. So just in sitting, there's a couple different things you can do. Some people like to reach out to the side and then bring that ear down to the shoulder. Some people like to pull that hand across with their other hand. And I actually like to anchor it, so I like to sit on my hand. And then I'm keeping my shoulders down and back, and I'm bringing my ear down to my shoulder. You can use your hand here again, don't pull, just use that weight of your hand. And then the other thing I like to do in this position is to nod my head a little bit and find the spots that it feels tighter. So for me right now, that's down here. Feels really tight. And then you'll just want to do the same thing on the other side. And that is our shoulder mobility for today. Thanks, guys.